Frank, man, talking about long time, brother. So tell me, you know, I know, man, you got stories up to you got better memory than I do.
Oh, shit.
But how far do we go back?
Oh, the first time I seen you, you were getting jumped at Danny's dogs.
Now you going back some there, dang. Dang.
But you handled yourself pretty good.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, you had kicked one of my friends, and he was just in the way. He was just happened to be there. It was like today. And I go, who's that dude right there? I'm looking at you, you're bouncing around all these, boom, 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 boom. It's like a movie, a karate movie. And so I said, man, if I ever see that dude again, man, talking shit, And the next time I saw you, you had a broken leg.
At the Nationals.
At the Internationals.
Yeah.
Ruben was pushing you. And I said, man, that dude looks familiar. Where did I seen that dude like that? So I seen everybody shaking your hand and stuff like that. And I said, well, he knows everybody. So I didn't say nothing. And then I said, who is that guy, man? I kept all day long looking at you like this, all day long, going back and forth. And someone said, that's Benny Urquidez from San Fernando? Yep. I said, well, I guess I'm going to have to be his friend.
But hey, talking about the Nationals, man, tell me about the Nationals when we were actually, when we were in our prime right there, man.
Well, that's when I saw you tearing it up, kicking this.
Hey, you were doing the same thing, man.
Here's the thing. When I was my first internationals, I was a white belt. You was already a black belt. They're pushing you around.
Uh-huh.
And then the next thing, I think the following year you was fighting.
Uh-huh.
And then by that time I was already orange belt or purple belt, something like that.
Uh-huh.
And I already had seen you fighting previously. And I said, because most of the guys were standing heads up and back neck like that. And I'm going, except you just coming out of everything, man. Both hands and feet, and it's just hair flying, craziness. And I'm like, this guy ain't doing karate, man. This guy is street fighting. And I says, well, if he's gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
There you go.
So I started boom, 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 boom. I just started tagging everybody like that. In fact, the first year I did it with not even knowing it because I was a white belt. I was standing there like this, getting ready to hit the guy. I went like this to hit the guy to the body, and he went, yeah! He hit me with a chop right on the neck. Full chop, like, pow! He goes, oh! I think he's a little Filipino guy. I'm going, I'm looking at it, I'm looking at it, I said, they gotta disqualify this guy now, man, because excessive contact. And Ron Chappelle goes,
there you go.
Point. I said, oh my God. So I was, oh yeah? So I got ready, I got my pretend not to know karate stance. I was like just, as soon as he came in, I said, boom, boom, boom. I started pounding on him. I grabbed him by the shoulders like this, and I went, 1 foot. I kicked him. I said,
yeah,
1 point. So I won that match. And that was my beginning. But after that, I seen you fighting, and I was like, it was so much finesse, man, behind the combinations. I said, man, I gotta learn. And then in the 1983, 84, actually, I come in off a broken neck. And I took first place forms. I took first place fighting, first place self-defense techniques, like this.
But then you were with Mr. Parker, right?
At that time, yeah,
At
I
that
was.
time you were with Mr. Parker,
I
yeah.
was. I was fighting on stage, and I fell off the stage and landed in his lap.
There you go.
And he's pushing me back up in it like that. But there was one technique, I remember you talking about it. He goes, yeah, I was fighting this big dude like this. And then all of a sudden he charged me like that, and I didn't know what to do. So I jumped this way, and I hit him with a hook and heel. Boom! And I says, So then I was fighting this, one of the BKF guys, big
Oh, yeah,
dude,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
for first place. And by that time I was already on. I had beaten Ralph Alegria.
Ah, be damned.
I beat him that day, and that one guy, he was like fighting you.
Uh-huh.
Finally, I get somebody to fight some caliber,
Uh-huh.
you know. And so he was looking at, and when he was looking at me, he was looking at me like this. And when I looked up at him like this, he went. I go, he's scared. I already got him beat.
There you go. That's it. Damn.
So we went at it like this, and I beat him because I had more tricks. Your tricks, by the way. And so anyways, that big dude, that big man that comes up, he comes running up and he like set up like this. And when I hit him, he hit me. We both, I didn't hit him, but he hit me in the chest. And he's like, oh man, I felt like I ran into a telephone pole. I said, damn, and I was looking at it, looking around and said, no point. I said, hey man, you're gonna have some trouble here. and then, so anyways, he's standing like this, and he came at me like this, and then when he came at me, I just did what you did. I just turned around, I jumped. I jumped out the way, and I did a hook and heel kick, and I caught him right behind the head, and I brought him all the way down to the ground, and then I was on top of him, boom, 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 and then I said, point. I got the point, but that was a great technique, man. People still talking about it.
There you go. You know, the beautiful part about those days, you know, is sometimes what happens is, back then we had, you know, I mean, tape around the knuckles, tape around the two toes. You know that was warriors. That was the warriors look back then in the '60s. But
Yeah.
as it went on, you know, as it went on, further on.
Safety punch.
Yeah, you know, that was early '70s. That's when Youre came with the safety punch. I hurt my hands more with that than anything.
Well, what I did with that, I just went back to boxing. You know?
There you go.
So just
That's it.
boom, 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 boom. You know.
So, tell me, you know, when did you, you know, I can't remember when the first time when you felt you got diagnosed. What was it that you got diagnosed of, man? They told me, I don't remember right offhand.
This was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, they kept telling me, man, you keep doing this, you keep doing that, your kidneys are gonna die. Your kidneys are gonna die. And I wasn't doing anything, you know, except, you know, doing what I do.
Yeah.
I was trying to eat the right fruits and, you know, drink a lot of water because it was for my kidneys and stuff like that. And apparently, I was eating the wrong fruits. I was high in potassium. And then one thing I was doing, I was taking painkillers for my feet and my knees and my hands and I was all tore up. And the painkillers was what doing all the damage. And then I said, well, we're gonna have to put you on dialysis. So they put a thing right here.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
They did like that, and I had a cut in my hand, and so no blood was getting to the hand. It was going to here and going back up, but no blood was going to the hand. So the hand was wilting like a flower. It was dying. And then pretty soon it was, you know, the fingers were turning black. So it said, you gotta cut your hand off. So I had about 15 minutes of shock.
Yeah.
I cried for a little bit, and then I said, screw it, let's get back to work. I got too much work I gotta do.
There you go.
And I got used to working just like this, you know. On one hand, it was no big deal. And then he started cutting off all my fingers. I said, wait a minute, man, you gotta save me something. So this is what I had left, these two little nubs there. You know, so a lot of times I sit like this.
There you go.
And he said, Mommy, look at that man, he got his fingers up his nose. I said, oh no.
And so you start doing a comedy act now, huh? But you know the beautiful part about it is, through all that you've been through. I mean, you know, I've watched, you know, I watched you, you know, together we both grown and through our careers and continue going. And but again, you know, because your heart, man, you know, you got you know, a warrior. I mean, a heart warrior, man. That's it. You know, it's just. We just keep on. Somebody ask you, how do you keep going? You know, how do you keep going?
Well,
What do you tell yourself? You know?
well, the thing about it was, like, as soon as I cut my feet off, it didn't bother me as much as this.
Yeah.
Because I was already used to getting stuff cut off. And I said, you know, I just had to heal up. And that took a long time because they didn't have my legs made.
Yeah.
Made one at a time, and then by the time they got the other one made, this leg was too big, and so I was like,
Yeah.
God dang it, man. So I was battling that, and finally, when both legs were cut off, I had put on these, they're called shrinkers, to shrink the muscles so that they would fit in the prostheses. And then, but I had been in the bed so long, I lost all my muscle coordination. I couldn't walk anymore. I stand up and then I crumble because I didn't have the muscles or the
support
strength to
support your strength. Yeah.
Now, I've been on the bike a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, that they have over there, but they keep it for just the old people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm 63 years old. I'm the youngest person there. You know, I feel like a kid there. You know, and everybody is all old and stuff. They're just like, I mean, old. Benny, these guys are like, this is their last stop.
Yeah.
You know how many people in my room alone? It has two beds. It's my room and the other bed. And then the other bed, you know how many people died in that bed? 8 people. 8 people died in that bed.
Well, you know what? Let me put it this way. You're alive. Hey, you know, you're coherent, you speak well, everything. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you know, you're a hero because we need heroes. What are you doing right now in your life? Right at this present time? I heard that you're still out there teaching. You're out there going out there
I'm there.
teaching.
I teach Tuesday and Thursday at the karate gym. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the boxing gym. You know, Mark wants to fight.
Yeah.
We go there and we meet with some of the pros, and the pros lend in their, you know, their expertise. They're young kids. I mean, boom, they fold the bag in half when they hit. I said, Mark, you see that? You gotta get like that. You want to fight these old guys? I said, and then I argue with him, man, I'm in shape, I'll do this, I can do that. I said, Mark, you're 45 years old. What do you mean you're in shape? Come on, just because you're not fat? And then he goes, then he quiet. Then I hit a nerve, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. Yeah. And he goes, I don't tell you, I don't tell you what this is. I said, yes, you do. You're always telling me. But when I tell you, you don't want to hear it. I said, listen, okay, this is what we're going to do. You ever seen the second to the last Rocky movie?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Have, bro.
We're not going to go for speed. We're not going to go for endurance. We're going to work on strength. You got to lift those weights. You got to strength and just pound this kid, you know. That's all you're going to do, you know.
So that's what you're doing right now. You just, I mean, right now you're just coaching and teaching.
I'm coaching and teaching like that, you know, and then the other little guys like that, you know, if they're right there, I said, come here, let me see what you're doing. I said, bend your knees, you put your hands up higher like this, learn how to pivot. You move that front foot, because that's what's going to get you out of the
There
way,
you go.
not the back foot. You move the back foot, you're still in the way.
There you go.
You know, step and turn. You know, cross over and turn. You
You
know,
still got it in you, brother. You know what? You know what? When, as they say, you can take the kid out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the kid. It's in you, brother. But
well,
the beautiful part about that is, you're my hero, man. To all that you've gone through, to have still such a lot, because you're a hero to so many people, and just your attitude in life itself, and that's the beautiful part. That's what we need. We all need heroes.
The
Man.
reason is because I enjoy living. I enjoy living, and I go,
That's the key.
there's a way, there's got to be another way for me to do what I do, like this. And right now I'm teaching, remember the form, the form I used to do for, I'm teaching Mark that. I almost got it all done, like that, from a chair. And there's one guy that I taught, his name was Paul Mills, a Kemple guy. He's a master now. But anyways, I taught him the same form over the phone. I just put like, the universal pattern?
That's it.
Like this. Well, I did it like the clock principle.
Beautiful.
It's 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and in between like this. And I'm like this. You already know the techniques.
That's it.
I taught you the techniques now like this. Okay, you're going to step to 10 o'clock in a neutral bow, fighting stance, and then you're going to pivot to a 4-bow double parry, like this.
So you taught him with his eyes closed and just by hearing you?
I'm on the phone.
Oh, on the phone.
I'm on the phone, so I'm trying to visualize. I'm like this, and I got the phone to my ear. I said, okay, you got to step here, and you got to step there, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. Okay, you already know the technique. Okay, good. Okay, now in this technique, you're not going to land forward. You're going to kick, and you're going to land in a horse, facing 12 o'clock.
That's so verbally, brother. Verbally, man. You're talking about accuracy, man. Just with your words.
Well, you know who taught me that? Hug Planis.
Yeah.
Remember Hug?
Yeah.
Hug was a teacher, and all he said to me was, pay attention to the particulars. And that's how you teach.
There you go.
Don't do this and do that like that. That ain't gonna work. You gotta know the technique, and then know the particulars. There's little moves. Pivot here, pivot there, parry here, parry there, whatever, like that. And I paid attention.
Yeah. That's beautiful, bro. You know the beautiful part about, man, what I love right now is that there's never a coincidence. I'm so glad, man, that you're here sharing, because sharing is something that we're going to take and pass on to our grandchildren, children, brother. That's what we're doing right now. We're passing on your wisdom, your knowing, my wisdom, my knowing, together, that we've done together. And that's what we're going to pass on, the legacy of what we've done in our past to the ones in front of us, man. And I want to thank you, brother, for most of all, is having the courage, man. Having the courage to stay up and not give up. Not give up, man. That's